Hello my spooky friends, welcome back to Buzztober. We are on day 21 and full disclosure, this is a re-recording of episode 21 because if you didn't listen to my last episode, my audio for episode 19, 20, and 21 got all messed up. So we are doing the best we can because I'm an amateur YouTuber, as you guys know. So here we are for day 21. I know I look ratchet as hell. I just got back from the gym and I jumped in the shower and I just honestly, like, why would I put on makeup just to take it off, like, right after this? Like, who cares? If you don't like how I look right now, that's absolutely, like, totally fine. Like, no judgment from me because, like, I'm like, huh, I don't know if I want to even be looking at my dang self. Just listen to either the YouTube without, like, looking at it or listen to the podcast because I have both. But what I'm gonna do is I really want to pull up more Glitch in the Matrix stories, so that's what I'm gonna dive into today. Once again, sorry for my appearance, whatever, you really don't care. It's like annoying to bring it up like 5 different times like I always do. But anyway, okay, so one of the episodes that the sound got all messed up, I was wearing this shirt and the shirt's just like perfect for this time of year. It's not a shirt, it's like a giant sweatshirt or whatever, but me and one of my best friends have like a matching one. I got it from Etsy. It's a great thing. And if you are not familiar with the Scream franchise, it's the best franchise, in my opinion, in the horror universe. For me, like, I'm not saying it has to be for you. Like, you can have whatever opinion you want because when you're coming into horror, you typically are coming into it for one reason or another. Like for me, I've found over the years that the ones that I like have a great plot, are typically like, I would say like mysterious versus like straight up outward and obvious who the monster is. And I love campy horror. I think it's like my favorite. I love when it has like a little bit of satire too. It doesn't always, like, I would say, like, what's one that I watched recently that didn't have satire and I loved it? I was gonna say Talk to Me, but that did have, like, there's comedic aspects to that. God, that movie's so good if you haven't seen it yet. Anyway, I can't think of a good example right now. Signs. I feel like Signs, that was like my first ever exposure to enjoying horror movies. Like, thanks to Signs, I really fell in love with the horror movie genre. That's like, I feel like Scream is just my favorite, my personal favorite franchise. I know a lot of people in terms of franchises, like I know someone who they love all of the like Saw franchise, which that one's great too. Or they love the, oh gosh, what else? Michael Myers, so the Halloween franchise. That one is actually quite fun because of the different directors that have been a part of it. Like obviously the John Carpenter original. For the last couple of years on the actual night of Halloween, I typically watch that one. And it's really fun. I actually like pass out candy and like order a pizza. It's like the best night ever. I absolutely love it. I live in a neighborhood that has like a ton of kids and stuff like that. So I absolutely love Halloween for so many reasons. Oh, another recommendation, because I'm actually recording this after I've recorded everything from 19 to 25. So, once again, I don't have headphones on just because the audio got distorted and it didn't really do anything for me. And if you leave like something on your head for too long, and I've got like a big ass head, it starts to just like give you a headache or whatever. So I'm like, if I don't have to wear these, like why the fuck would I wear them? I really went off on a tangent here. This is what I was gonna say. Recommendation, if you guys haven't watched it yet, is The Fall of the House of Usher. Would highly recommend. It's on Netflix. If you're watching this right now, 100%, or listening to this right now rather, 100% you know what I'm talking about with The Fall of the House of Usher. Mike Flanagan is the creator, which everything Mike Flanagan does, everything he touches turns to gold, and it's so good. So, and one of my favorite things is like he does a lot of like I almost said repeat stuff. He almost, what? Am I okay? Okay, I have been drinking a little bit, I'm not gonna lie to you, but okay. Oh, I'll get to that in a minute. But he has a lot of repeat people that have been in his previous stuff. Like my first exposure to him was The Haunting of Hill House, which by far is one of the best limited series of all fucking time. Like, it's really hard to beat that. It covered so much. Actually, that's one, there's not really like satire in that one. But my God, it's so good. And I went to like a deep dive down like the rabbit hole with The Haunting of Hill House when that first came out a couple years ago. And it's based off of a book called The Taming of the Shrew. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm confusing like the Shakespeare with the book that's not Shakespeare. Shakespeare is the Taming of the Shrew. And then the one that I'm referring to that's a direct reference to Haunting of Hill House is The Turning of the Screw. So there's been a couple other renditions that have come out in relation to that. Like if you guys ever watched, gosh, it was from like the early 2000s. I loved the cast. The girl, Catherine Zeta-Jones is in it. What was it called? Haunting on the Hill or something like that. I can't remember right now off the top of my head. It's on Hulu right now if you have Hulu. But that's also like a rendition of the book. Also, there's a movie, what is it called? Hold on, I need to look it up. Oh, I remember. So it's called The Innocents. And that was like the original movie version of the book, The Turning of the Screw. So if you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend it, even if you have to rent it. I know it was on Hulu for a while. I don't know if it's on Prime. Google it. It's totally worth it. It's black and white. Like, it's a black and white movie, but it is considered one of the best and most haunting ghost stories of all time. For its time, very scary. Like, if you think about, if you're watching it and you're kind of like, this is lame, really think about back in the day before movies were even in color, that they were able to depict an incredible movie completely in black and white. And like, horror wasn't like a huge genre back in the day anyway, or it hasn't gained the popularity that it has now, I would say. Alfred Hitchcock really kind of paved the way. As you all know, why am I giving you guys like a lesson on horror stuff? This is weird. I didn't mean for it to go this way. There's also another movie that I wanted to mention that's newer. It came out, I want to say 3 years ago. It's called The Turning, and it has the boy who plays Will. Yeah, the boy who plays Will. Wait, which one went missing in Stranger Things? Will Byers. He went missing. It's not Will. It's the kid who plays Mike, right? It's like one of my favorite shows. I don't know why my brain is like total mashed potatoes right now. I can't remember. He's in it. And it's really, it's good. Is it the best horror movie of all time? No, but like, give it a go. Especially if it's free somewhere, like definitely give it a go. I think it's also on Hulu. Mike Flanagan created The Haunting of Hill House, Bly Manor, which was not my favorite. It was good. I watched the whole thing, but it wasn't my favorite. Midnight Mass was unbelievably good. I loved that. Trigger warning, if you have had any kind of trauma with religion, maybe growing up or even currently, just fair warning, trigger warning with that one. It's really good. I would highly recommend it. And then after that, oh, so Gerald's Game, ironically, is a movie that I've never seen before. It kind of got spoiled for me, which is why I never really went back and watched the whole thing, but I think I will, because I did not realize Mike Flanagan also created that movie, which was based off of a book. I don't know who wrote the book, actually. Was it Stephen King? Someone look that up. I don't know. I don't feel like doing that right now. Gerald's Game, I definitely at some point want to watch. But then the most recent one is The Fall of the House of Usher. The Fall of the House of Usher. Super good so far. I'm only like 4 episodes in. It's like obviously super graphic and crazy and a bit of a bummer, but it's so good. Like unbelievably good. But okay, you are here for a reason. We talked about the shirt already. I will tell you what I'm drinking. How fun is this cup? It's such a beautiful glass. I think I got it. Oh, you can't even see. Oh my God. I'm so sorry if you guys can't see. So I poured red wine in it, which would make fucking sense, but it's supposed to be like orange on the inside, so it has this beautiful reflection of bats. Freaking bats. I love Halloween. Please tell me you know what that's from. If my sister-in-law is watching this, Britt Bromley, you'll know what that's from. You'll know. I'm counting on you. I hope you're not watching this because this is going to terrify the shit out of you, so you probably should not be watching this. Let me see if I can kind of like get closer. I'm sorry if this is going to be really stupid and pointless. Like you can kind of see the bats, sorta. Anyway, I actually think this is supposed to be a candle holder where I put like a candle in here, but like I turned it into a wine glass because it also kind of looks like a wine glass. But I love that it's black. It's like giving me life, and it's not like plastic black, which would have been fine. I'm totally fine with that. But it's probably not glass. I don't know what the fuck material this is. Whatever. Just like roll with this. It's been a weird day. I'm sorry that I'm being really weird right now. But it's red wine in here. I'm drinking a Rioja technically. Absolutely phenomenal Rioja. And it's, if you don't know, Rioja is a region in Spain, so it's not a grape varietal if you're not super privy to the wine world. So it's technically 100% Tempranillo, which is a grape varietal that is grown absolutely beautifully in Spain. So just food for thought. If you're a fan of red wine and maybe don't want to break the bank with spending a ton of money on like a very popular California like Napa cab, for example, give Rioja a try. It's typically like a third of the price because it's coming from Spain. Napa just like jacks up their prices. There's plenty of Napa wines I like, I promise. Like I'm not dogging on it. I'm just saying don't let Spanish wines fall by the wayside. Thanks especially to Jorge Ordóñez, who really paved the way for being able to bring fantastic Spanish wines transported over into the US without compromising the quality. I have the privilege of being able to sell a lot of his products and they're fantastic, like absolutely incredible. If you see anything under Jorge Ordóñez, would highly recommend drinking it because you are not going to regret it. The whites, the reds, the rosés, the sparkling, you will not regret it. This has been the longest intro of all time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a quick sip here. Okay, that turned into a bit of a gulp. Holy cow, that is so good. Oh my God, I need to, let's just get into these stories. Okay, let's do this. So what I want to do today, like I mentioned, we're going to do a glitch in the matrix. So I decided this on a whim, so I literally have no idea what we're going to find here. But I found a BuzzFeed article. I love you, BuzzFeed. I love you so much. Every time I think of BuzzFeed, I think of Adam Ellis, and I know that Dear David just came out, which if you don't know what that is, oh my God, please write it in the comments and I will gladly walk you through like a brief understanding of the phenomena that was Dear David on Twitter. The same best friend that like I have a matching shirt with, as well as a matching tattoo. Her name is Britt Miggs. Go follow her on Instagram. She is a comedian over in New York. And her Instagram is Britty Miggs, so BRITTYMIGS. Go follow her, you won't regret it. Trust me, she's absolutely hilarious and very talented. Why did I just bring all of that up? Am I okay? I brought all of that up to say, we have this matching shirt. Oh, I was talking about Dear David. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Okay, so she introduced me to Dear David, that's why I brought it up. Would highly recommend, and we've been waiting, if you started with Dear David from years ago, like during COVID times, you are probably like so thrilled that they finally came out with a movie. I cannot wait to rent it. I'm just gonna maybe try to do that this weekend. I'm recording this on a Thursday night. No idea when it's gonna air. Oh, wait, this is episode 21. So 20 will go tomorrow. So Friday. So 21 will be on a Saturday. Wow, okay, cool. So I'm gonna try this weekend to rent Dear David and watch it. If I end up doing it, I will report back in episode 26 about if it's good or not. It has a lot to live up to, like my expectations are quite high because they initially, when the whole thing came out with Dear David, I'm just gonna like quickly give you like a synopsis in case you didn't know. So essentially this gentleman named Adam Ellis, who was a writer and creator in BuzzFeed, as well as an incredibly, incredibly talented cartoonist as well. Go follow him on social media if you haven't already. He created this thread called Dear David in Twitter. And for the longest time, as we were all reading through it, like he would give live updates every single day. It felt so real that there was a significant period of time where one of my best friends and I were wondering, is this real? I brought another best friend into it, Brooke, shout out to you, and we all just love it. It's so good. If you really want like a real in-depth, like awesome job of like explaining everything with it, as well as like a rundown, Loie Lane, if you don't follow her on YouTube, definitely follow her. She's incredible. She's really what got me into YouTube during the COVID time because I just like Googled scary storytelling or whatever and she popped up, and Loie Lane is amazing. So like major shout out to you and thank you for inspiring me to be able to be on YouTube as well. I love YouTube. I think it's the best thing ever, and I know I'm like not good at it and like a total amateur, but I'm fine with that. Like let's keep it fun. Let's keep it fresh. Let's keep it funky. What the fuck am I doing right now? So go watch Loie Lane's episode on Dear David. I'm like the tangent queen today. Okay, please, let's just dive into this. Brought up Adam Ellis. He created Dear David. He also worked for BuzzFeed. I don't know if he does anymore. Probably not. He's probably like too famous. If he does, like rock on BuzzFeed because you got some talented motherfuckers working for you. Let's go ahead and dive into 13 The Simulation is Leaking stories from this month that are actually kind of creepy. So these are like very much glitch in the matrix vibes. And the person who wrote this was Andy Golder. He works for BuzzFeed. Shout out to you, Andy Golder. Thank you for creating this. And underneath it says, like in quotes, I dropped my phone and watched it disappear. Poof, gone. So let's dive in. Okay, so 13 The Simulation is Leaking stories from this month that are actually kind of creepy. Once again, written in by Andy Golder. Ooh, okay, fun. These are just like a list of 13 and they're like short. Okay, the first one is the disappearing phone. One time I was standing at the top of the stairs, talking to my mom down below. I dropped my phone as if it was going down the stairs. It completely disappeared. There are no cracks or spaces it could have slipped into. There's a flush wall all the way down on both sides. My mom and I were mind blown. We couldn't find this phone anywhere. 2 days later, I was cleaning the upstairs hall, and there my phone was, underneath my sister's dollhouse. There's no way this could have happened. Absolutely impossible. My mom and I both saw the phone bounce down the stairs, and poof, gone. Okay, and it looks like this must have been pulled from Reddit because there's a Reddit username. Oh, okay. So it looks like BuzzFeed did their own thread where like assuming it was the writer of this article, basically requested, they posted a topic and then people commented their story. So that must be what this is pulled from on Reddit. So that was the first one. Okay, so number 2, the time traveler. I think we saw a time traveler. So this happened about a week ago, but my memory is still pretty fresh. My boyfriend and I were in the car on the way to get dinner and chatting casually. Everything was normal. As we pulled up to a red light, somebody caught my attention. There was a guy, I'd say between 15 and 18 years old, walking on the sidewalk across the street. I noticed him because he looked like he was straight out of 2004. Baggy jeans, gray beanie, and a black t-shirt over a long-sleeved white shirt. I thought it was funny. Figured he was some kind of skater and pointed it out to my boyfriend and made some joke about the guy being from the 2000s. We both agreed he looked out of place, and that's when we started joking that he must be a time traveler. I said something like, he's probably thinking, whoa, dude, where am I? And as soon as I said it, the guy started to look around like he was confused. We were in a car and across a busy street from him. No way he heard us. We remarked that it was weird as we watched the guy look around confused for a few moments. Then we both looked away for no more than half a second. I don't remember why. And when we turned back, the guy was gone. What? Fuck! Oh my god! I don't know what I would do if that was me. That's wow. You guys are crazy. My god. If you want to share a glitch in the Matrix story, please write it below. I love stuff like that. Oh, there's more to the story. Sorry. Okay. At first we laughed and thought it was funny, but the more we looked, the more we realized he had nowhere to go, and he really just completely disappeared. I can't stress this enough. We barely looked away and had nowhere to go that we wouldn't be able to see him. We both freaked out and drove the most of the rest of the way in silence while we thought about time travel. We haven't really talked about it since, but we agree that it was obviously really weird. And this was written in by user Shayna24601. Sorry, it like got separated by like an ad on the freaking website or whatever. But anyway, my god. Okay, all right. If you guys see my face being really red, this is my 4th take right now. And I have to make edits all the fucking time, but I was trying to explain, but I kept messing up the word glitch in the Matrix because that is a hard word to say when you've been consuming alcohol. If you have a glitch in the Matrix story, I would love nothing more than to hear it. So share it below. Number 3, this story is entitled The Temporary Mind Link. For about a week, I would wake up, look at the clock and see that it was 2 a.m., and then go back to sleep. One of these nights, I woke up as usual, and then noticed a green glow next to my ear. I turned my head to see what I could only describe as a giant, light bright peg plugged into my pillow. Instead of being disturbed by it, I thought to myself, Craig, my brother, would think this is really cool. I then fell instantly asleep. Next day, I went to my brother's apartment and remarked how tired he looked. He said, yeah, every night this week I woke up at 2 a.m. And then last night, I swear I heard you calling my name. Shocked, I told him what I had experienced, and we were wondering if for some reason we were having a psychic connection. He got out a pack of index cards and we both took 10. One by one, we wrote down numbers and held them up to discover 9 out of 10 matched. The last one I left blank and he drew a 0. Both indicate nothing. Then the spell was broken and hasn't happened since. That's crazy. What a good story. I love it. And that one was written in by user Rich B and Rich. Rich B and Rich. Okay, story 4. The duplicate dad. Oh fuck, if this is like another doppelganger story, my god. The doppelganger shit also scares me. Like, oh, imagine if you just like, I don't know, walked somewhere or went somewhere and you saw someone with your face, or you Like, I would be so freaked out if I thought Cameron, my husband, was like upstairs and then I saw him downstairs. I don't even know what to say. I can't talk about it because it just freaks me out. I feel like I don't want to talk it into fruition. Is that the right word? Whatever. You get what I'm saying. Okay. Story number 4, the duplicate dad. I had lots of insane glitch in the Matrix moments when I was younger. One morning when I was getting ready for school, I went to go downstairs to get breakfast and passed by both my parents' bedroom. The door was slightly ajar, and I peeked in to see my dad putting his tie on and getting ready for work. When I got downstairs to the kitchen, my dad was already in there making toast. I was so confused. Our house was small and only had one staircase, and there's no way he could have gotten to the kitchen without me seeing him. Really weird. Know what I'm saying? That shit is fucked up, bro. I hate this. Anyway, that one was written in by Rianne Whittall. Okay, story number 5. The shirts from another dimension. So this happened earlier this morning, but it's still on everyone's mind here. I was doing the laundry and moving clothes from the washing machine to the dryer. While I was moving things over, I picked up my Optimus Prime shirt and put it in the dryer. Then one of my kids needed me in the kitchen, so I walked away. When I went back to the washing machine, I picked up the next item, and it was again my Optimus Prime shirt. I figured I just mistook the first shirt or something and threw the shirt in there. A few items later, again, one of my kids needed something, so I walk away, and when I come back, I again pull out the same Optimus Prime shirt from the washing machine, and I say out loud, "What the hell? This is weird." And I throw it in the dryer. My oldest daughter walked and asked what was going on, and I told her, and she looks in the dryer, and she says there were 3 of the shirts in there. It's impossible, as I only own one. So I go look in the dryer, and yes, indeed, there's 3 identical shirts. All wet as well. My daughter gets excited and calls my wife to take a look and confirm. My wife takes a look and also sees the 3 identical shirts, and she knows I only own one as she bought it for me. My wife says we should take a picture, and she walks out of the laundry room to get her phone. While she was getting her phone, there's a loud bang coming from the laundry room, and we all quickly go back in there. Nothing seemed out of place or fallen, but when my daughter looked in the dryer, there's only one Optimus Prime shirt. We emptied the dryer, but in the end, there was only a single shirt. Still no idea what happened there, but all 3 of us saw the multiple shirts. I genuinely think glitch in the Matrix stuff is the scariest, because like, how do you explain that? I like believe that. Maybe I'm insane for believing that, but like, why would someone make up a weird story like that? I mean, I guess there's weird people out there, but I just don't know why. I don't know. That was written in by user what_a_by_jokic. I don't know. Okay, so this next story is entitled The Intervention. So one time I was sitting at a traffic light at an intersection that is perpendicular to an off-ramp to a major highway, I-95. I was the newer driver and a light watcher, so as soon as opposing traffic got the yellow light, I would already be about to take my foot off the brake. Well, this time when I took my foot off the brake, something pushed against my chest and kind of pinned me to the seat. But not my seatbelt, because it didn't get any tighter or stall like it does when you brake hard. I turned to the right to look at my passenger in shock because I was so confused, but they yelled for me to go. When I turned my head straight to proceed, a car came literally flying, like airborne, across the intersection from highway at lightning speed and crashed into an overgrown lot on the other side. I just burst into tears because what the fuck? I'm an atheist, so I don't really know what to think of it. Crazy. That was written in by Ashley SLP331. Okay, this next one is entitled The Remote Control Clone. I was about 16 at the time, and I had just gotten a new TV to put in my room so that I could use Xbox on it. It came with one remote. I remember specifically because I was very spacey and tended to lose things, so I wanted a second. Well, cut to about 3 months later, I lost the remote. I slept with it on my nightstand, and I don't remember moving it or dropping it or anything. But one day I went to grab it, and it wasn't on my nightstand. I looked everywhere for that thing. It was driving me crazy, until a few days later when I looked in between my bed and the wall. I'd already looked there, at least I thought so, and it was just there. I was absolutely elated until when I pulled the bed back to actually grab it, 2 remotes fell. Exact same brand, same wear on the input and select button. The number 2 was rubbed off on both of them. And what really blew my mind is the batteries were the same mismatch of Duracell. in whatever brand it came with. Turned the same amount. Why is that so scary? And that one was written in by user. It's on gaming. Okay, this next glitch in the Matrix story is entitled The Audio Premonition. Mine happened quite recently, actually. I had just clocked out and gotten off of work and had planned that day that my mom and I would hang out. I climb into her car and everything was chill like usual when I begin to hear a loud crashing noise, like the car just got hit by another car, along with scraping and honking / doors being slammed. Of course, I say nothing of it because I didn't want to speak bad energy like that out there, so I kept it in. Of course, what happens 30 minutes later? We have a hit and run happen, and all the same noises I was hearing prior to it happening end up also happening. Needless to say, I was definitely confused / floored. Sometimes I think about it and feel like just because it even popped in my mind that I already put that energy out to the universe. So it wouldn't have mattered if I spoke it or not. I suppose I could have mentioned to stay vigilant or something, but I've never had this happen to me before, so I didn't really know how to approach it. Hate it. That was written in by KB Richards 14. All right, the next one is entitled The Guardian Blip. I remember I was jumping on the bed as a toddler, like maybe 5 years old at the most. I did this crazy flip and was heading upside down head first into the corner of the dresser next to the bed. Next thing I know, I'm just sitting on the floor, not hurt, and don't remember anything at all. Apparently I told my mom someone caught me, so I can't tell if this ghost is a guardian or something scary, or possibly an angel or a blip in the universe. But I'm always confused on how that happened. Woo! Terrifying. Okay, that one was written in by Laura Polly Neg. Okay, so we've got a few more here, and this next one is entitled The Imposter Call. I was at work when my dad called my phone. He was worried that something was wrong because a few minutes earlier I had called him and he couldn't make out what I was saying, but he knew it was my voice and I sounded agitated. All he could make out were a couple of times where I used the same nonsense nicknames I used for my parents' pets, so he thought something bad had happened to one of the dogs. I told him I hadn't called him, but he didn't believe me and thought I was pulling a prank. Later on, when I saw him in person, I showed him that the last outgoing call I had made to him had been about 5 days before. But he had definitely been called by my phone earlier that day because his phone showed an incoming call from my number. And the call had gone on for about 3 minutes before it cut off. That is terrifying, and you can't convince me otherwise. Like, what sense does that make, you guys? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, And that one was written in by Torby Lilies. Okay, just a couple more here. So this next one is entitled The Expanding Woods. I've been walking the same paths in a wooded area for 7 years, and my cousins and their friends wanted to check the woods out at night. I was like, sure, whatever, I'll take them. So a group of 6 of us went to check it out. Everything was going fine up until a new path had come into view. This wooded area isn't that big, and I'd never seen this path before, so we decided, fuck it. We're here to explore, so let's explore. As we explored, we noticed that there was a pretty good-sized body of muddy water. It hadn't rained in a few months at this point, and it looked like it was a pond. We turned back and head to the connection point. We decided we were done and to head back to the exact route we came, which I kept note of. The problem is, it was no longer, like the woods were extending the paths internally. I went back the next day, and the path was gone, and it never extended that extra hour it took us to get back. Hate that for all of us right now. And that one was written in by Reiki Riasi. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing any of these right. Okay, we've got 2 more, y'all. This next one is entitled The Wrong Number. Years after my brother passed away, my husband, who is also my brother's best friend, got a text message from his phone number. The text read, "Hey fam," and nothing else. We know that phone numbers get recycled, but the thing is, my husband did not have this cell number when my brother was alive. When I told my family, my sister, who has a problem with boundaries, decided to call the number and talk to the sender. He told her that he did get a new phone and sent out a text to his family with his new number. But the only text that went through to my husband was, "Hey fam," and not the rest of the message. The sender also did not have anything to show that he sent a message to my husband's cell phone. He did not have my husband's new number. The whole thing is bizarre. And before people want to tell me theories about why it might have happened, I'm choosing to believe that my brother, the prankster, just decided to blip the timeline to say hello. Okay, and this is the last story. And finally, twins who share everything. I have an identical twin sister, and we are very close. Most people can't tell us apart. We've always done everything together. We both get sick at the same time. We both had our gallbladders removed, and then both had myomectomies? I apologize, I'm not medical. Later, we both got diagnosed with MS. One particular trip heading home from Florida to visit our parents, we stopped at a rest stop. There were several sections of bathrooms, so my sister and I split up and went in opposite directions. When I got into the restroom, I had an immediate case of deja vu. I quickly finished and left the bathroom. I spotted my husband and beelined straight for him. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw my sister heading there too. We both got to him at the same time and said in unison, "I had a dream about this bathroom." Needless to say, my husband was freaked out. Well, you guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you tuning in to episode 21 of Buzztober. I know this is a re-recording. I know this isn't as cute as it possibly could be, probably not the best that it possibly could be, but thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. Technological difficulties are not my friend, but that's okay. We got through it. So thank you so much for being here. And if you are loving this, make sure to like and subscribe, as well as click that notification bell so every time I upload a new episode, you will be notified. Also, please feel free to comment below. I would love to see your comments, as long as they're good, because I'm fragile and don't write anything mean. Until tomorrow, thank you so much. Cheers to you. Stay buzzed and stay spooky. Bye.